Hey everyone, and welcome back to another car review from the Boyz Racing. I'm TBZ Frostbite, here to review the 1987 Mercedes-Benz AMG Hammer Wagon. This car came as an addition to the European Automotive Car Pack. It came along with the 2020 Battista, the 2021 Continental GT Convertible, and the 2019 Jaguar XC SV Project 8. This is, however, the second AMG that we are getting, as we also have the 1987 Mercedes-Benz AMG Hammer Coupe. But any true car lover appreciates a nice wagon, so I've decided to give a nice car review on the handling, body style, and performance upgrades available to this AMG Mercedes. Seeing as how this car comes from the 80s, the boxy front end is very fitting for a car of this style. The small windshield wipers on the headlights are a nice touch to the car, but were found not to be entirely too practical, unless, of course, you lived in the snow, in which these windshield wipers would help clear the snow off your headlights. The stock wheels definitely set this car apart from your average daily driven wagon. Running a very deep dish and a blue matching style to the body, this Mercedes is powered by a 6-liter V8 engine producing 379 horsepower to the rear wheels. Torque was rated at 417 foot-pounds. The car weighed in at 3,805 pounds. All of that matted to a 4-speed automatic transmission made this car into quite a powerful beast for the 80s. But I'm just as eager as you are to hear how this car sounds on the roadway. So let's get this thing on its test drive. The large V8 sounds very American, but also very aggressive, and I'm honestly glad to hear it. A 6-liter V8 from Germany sounding like an American V8 in the late 80s is quite refreshing. Acceleration causes the rear end to dip on launch, which just is an indicator that this car has a lot of torque to pull it off the line. But dip like that will cause a lot of traction loss on the launch. So with some suspension upgrades and some slightly grippier tires, I can see this car being a great launching car. The body roll is atrocious. There will have to be a lot of tuning put into this car to stabilize it. Braking is okay, but the brakes can certainly be upgraded and some weight taken out of the car to help with corner entry. Overall, this car should be a fun B-Class or maybe an A-Class build. It does start in a pretty high B-Class at 675, so I will see what kind of upgrades I can get and potentially run this as a B-Class. However, that won't leave a lot of room for power, and I may find myself moving into an A-Class build. So let's head back to the garage to see what our upgrade options are. Starting with conversions, we have our engine options as the 5.2-liter V10, the 7.2-liter V8, the 6.9-liter V12, or the 6-liter V12 racing engine. All very good options for this car, but we like to keep things stock around here, so we're going to stick with the 6-liter engine. For the drivetrain swaps, we have the obvious all-wheel drivetrain, and either a twin-turbo or supercharger as options for the forced induction. Finally, it does excite me to see that we do have track width options. So I'm going to take some time to build this, and I will be right back. All right, well, I am back here with a 515 horsepower, 564 foot-pounds of torque, supercharged rear-wheel drive beast reduced the weight back to 3,597 pounds, and have added some Work Grand Seeker CCX wheels and dropped the ride height down just a hair to give this thing a sleek yet aggressive stance for some racing. I went with a darker blue than stock and some slightly wider wheels. With some upgrades to the engine, this ended up being an A-class build, a very simple yet aggressive build, not quite the sleeper, but not fully revealing all the power capable of this car. I've made a bit of a change to my testing style. Instead of testing my cars on 2 different tracks, I will be testing it on a solo single track that I've created known as Lighthouse Speedway. So let's see how this vehicle handles on the track and see if it truly has earned the name AMG Hammer. It took a bit of tuning to get this car to a better handling spec, but once I found the sweet spots in the differentials, suspension stiffness, and bump and rebound stiffness, I was able to comfortably race Lighthouse Speedway without losing too much rear end grip. The addition of a 6-speed manual transmission with fully adjustable gears helped the acceleration and maintaining grip while accelerating. However, with such a large engine in the front of the vehicle, understeer was very prevalent. The weight in the front caused the car to continue to pull outwards, entering into turns. As a result, I was forced to throttle off a lot longer than some other vehicles. That gave us a lap time of 1 minute, 11.552 seconds. Now, I went back and tested all of the cars I've done a review on Lighthouse Speedway. Unfortunately, the AMG Hammer placed at the bottom of the A-class list, behind the Lamborghini Countach and the Toyota Supra. The rear end just cut too loose around sharp corners, reducing my ability to get back on the throttle quickly. However, the supercharger and the engine upgrades did allow for quick acceleration in the streets and in areas where short burst speeds could be maximized. But now we head over to the rating score, starting with style. Right off the bat, everyone loves a nice wagon vehicle, especially one from the 80s with a monstrous V8. The available engine swaps are nice, but from a purist standpoint, utilizing the 6.0 engine was its best option. The lack of body kits and exterior customization does hurt the style score, but when lowered with a nice set of rims, this car can pull some class. Even with class, though, that's not enough to really set it out above the others, and that has earned this a score of 5. Competitive score, because this car is very hard to tune and the back end breaks loose very easily, requires too much tuning to the front. But too much tuning to the front causes the car to be understeery, making this a very difficult car to take into online racing. But it's not completely useless, but it's definitely not my first choice, maybe not even second or third. Thus, it's receiving a score of 5 as well. However, I did find this car very fun to just drive it around. It has a very cruising vibe to it, and it looks like something you would actually see on the streets. It is a fun car to bring to the car meets, and because it's a DLC car, you don't see them very often, which plays into the effect of its fun factor. Therefore, I'm giving this one a fun factor score of 8, bringing it to a total of 18. Unfortunately, that means this is our lowest scored car. However, I do still find it a worthy car to have in your garage. Well, that's going to do it for us in this video. Let me know in the comments if you think this was worthy of DLC or should have been added as a regular seasonal carless car. Keep an eye out for our next video. Please like and share this video, hit that subscribe button, and as always, safe driving.